Hi there, it's Bartholomew Perez, engineering, realtor in California and Florida, author and investor. It's graduation season, and the reason I know it's because I'm hearing back from my mentees that are either going into internships or graduating from the university and transitioning into their first corporate job. It's exciting, I know, and at the same time, I remember when I made the transition, I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I was asking my mentor, how should I dress up for my first day at work? And really, these sort of questions are coming from I want to be able to excel and deliver the best possible version of myself to my corporate environment. And I think if there was any 5 pieces of advice that I would give myself or things to just keep in mind, it would be having a strong work ethic, seeking continuous learning and skills development, building a diverse network, honing leadership abilities, and being results oriented and business minded. For the first item, having a strong work ethic. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're not shy about strong or displaying proficiency in an assignment. What I often look for are projects and assignments that people tend to not want, either because it might be too difficult, it might be a short timeline, or because I might have different information or certain access that might allow me to navigate that environment. I think if anybody that's starting off, if you want to demonstrate that you're not shy about difficulty or a challenge, this is a good way to demonstrate that. For the second item, if you're seeking continuous learning, we're engineers. And as engineers, it's very natural for us to be curious and feeding our curiosity a benefit. Most employers, if not all, that I'm aware of, will sponsor and give you some sort of like funding towards your education. That's how I received my master's. That's how I received various courses on the subject of project management, being agile, model-based systems engineering. Really, it could be impactful because those are skills that are required from maybe a client or a customer, but at the same time, though, that's maybe a direction that your company is going through. I remember we were going through a transitionary period, and it was about being agile, being more model based. And what does that mean? That means being able to iterate as quickly as possible, have results as quickly as possible, and iterate on that so that we can produce the best possible products. Building a network. This is and has never been more easier. Why? Because of social media. Internally, though, to the organizations, we have things like employee resource groups. It's at work. And what better way to get your coworkers and what else is going on in the company than through employee resource groups? At the same time, there's other professional societies that you might belong to that are extended into the professional world. Don't lose touch with them because relationships do make an impact to your profession. I know that in the last couple of transitions I've made, it's been because of my network. I know that in the future, it's going to continue to be that case, and that's true for engineering, real estate, and writing. Don't lose sight of your network. The more diverse, the more better off I think you will. As cliche as the saying goes, your network is your net worth. It really can be. It's definitely a contributing factor because the people on your team can really make an impact to the insights that you might have in the future. Leadership abilities. How can you demonstrate? Well, become a lead to the project. Take initiative. If there's something like a scrum master or a product owner that's being required that might be vacant, why not? Take ownership, provide initiative, and it demonstrates. Your leaders will notice when you're coordinating meetings on your own, you're asking the right questions. I think you can often say a lot more about somebody by the questions that they're asking as opposed to what they're actually saying, because now you can have an idea of what their process is actually look like to solve a problem. And finally, being results oriented and business minded. If there's no net sales, if there's no sales, there's no companies. It took me a while to really figure that out. And being a business professional, duh, it makes sense. Yes, the company has to generate sales in order for you to have a salary, to have some earnings. So what does that look like? Keep up with what's going on in your industry. If you're in tech, if you're in defense, if you're in commercial, whatever it is, be aware of what's going on in your environment. What are the governing bodies, at the federal and state levels? If there's maybe expected growth in your city of residence. What does that look like? How far out? What permits are being submitted into the city or county? Things that as an engineer and real estate professional, I think about a lot, because that means more opportunity as an employee and as a real estate professional. If you're starting off in your career, this might seem a little bit bigger, but this is where mentors can come in handy. So if you already belong to an employee resource group or some professional society, ask. I remember the last high school speaking engagement that I had at Banning in Los Angeles, California. I was speaking to a student and I asked them, if you were to ask me right now that you needed mentorship, I'm not going to say no to you. What that prompted was for him to ask me for my email at the very end of my public speaking, that I will be his mentor. And we have been exchanging emails. I look forward to the day that I reconnect with him, because these are the sort of things that make a difference. Not only are you a role model, but at the same time, you're providing information that things I wish I knew before, but also things that somebody else can benefit, and the process continues. So Bartholomew Perez on things I wish I knew as an early career professional. Congratulations to the class of 2023. To be continued.